Welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is the 35th annual National Girls Women in Sport Day. So it's a major event that occurs nationally. There are tons of presentations that go on. This being the COVID year, unfortunately, it's a little different view, but hopefully we still get the intent across that we hope to do. All right, so I'm going to go around the horn as you lay out on my screen. And this is what I first want from you so that others can get to know you. So give me your name, your sport, your major, and your hometown. Okay, I'm going to start with Mo.
My name is Mohan Korbain. I am a senior on the basketball team. I'm doing a double major in sports management and human development and family studies. And I'm from Montreal, Canada.
Brooke?
I'm Brooke Manson. I run track and cross country, and I'm from Washington, Sammamish, Washington. It's like 30 minutes outside of Seattle. And my major is urban ecology.
Thank you. Maya?
Hi, I'm Maya Labar. I'm also from Washington. I'm from Spokane, Washington, and I'm a junior on the track and field team. And I'm studying political science with an emphasis in law and politics. And I'm also going for a certificate in social justice advocacy.
Thank you. Zoe?
Hi, my name is Zoe Wetherington. I am a sophomore on the volleyball team. I am from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm majoring in international studies with a minor in ethnic studies. And I'm also going after a certificate in social justice advocacy.
Awesome. Thank you. Cami?
Hi, I'm Cami. I'm a junior. I'm on the gymnastics team. I'm from Gainesville, Virginia, which is a little close to Washington, D.C. I'm double majoring in criminology and international studies with a minor in Spanish.
Michelle?
Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle, and I'm a freshman and a skier at the Utah ski team. And I'm studying business, and my major is undecided yet. So yeah, we will see.
Plenty of time. Lola?
Hi, I'm Lola. I'm a sophomore in the basketball team, and I'm majoring in political science.
Where are you from, Lola?
I'm from Spain. Almeria.
Awesome. Audrey Duel?
Hi, I'm Audrey. I'm a junior, and I'm on the swim and dive team. I'm currently majoring in communications, and I'm from Fort Collins, Colorado.
And I'm Emma. I'm also on the swim and dive team. I'm also a junior. I'm studying kinesiology, and I am from a little town by Tahoe called Grass Valley, California.
Great area. Maddie?
Hi, I'm Maddie, or Madison McKay. I'm from Modesto, California, which is up in NorCal, and I'm a communication major. Oh, and
Awesome.
a senior on the tennis team.
Thank you. Jasmine?
Hi, my name is Jasmine Rich. I'm a senior on the women's tennis team. I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I am studying marketing.
The one local so far, might be the only one. Haley?
Hi, I'm Haley. I am a junior on the soccer team. I am majoring in psychology and environmental studies and sustainability. And I am from Bozeman, Montana.
Great. Alyssa?
Hi, I am Alyssa Barrera. I am a super senior on the women's softball team. I'm from Chino Hills, California, and I earned my degree in strategic communications last year, and I'm now working on my master's degree in information systems.
Lucky you. KDV?
Hi, I'm Katie Vesterstein. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm currently a junior on the ski team, and I'm majoring in finance.
Krista?
Hi, I'm Crystal. I'm a junior on the gymnastics team. I'm studying applied math with a minor in computer science, and I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Last but not least, Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie Falk. I'm a senior on the softball team. I'm currently majoring in kinesiology, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Thank you. People from all over the country, international, domestic, one local, Utah. The rest of you are kind of like me, just brought in from all over the country. I grew up in upstate New York, and I was a former volleyball player. So yes, Skip also is from upstate New York. We're from the same area. So You know, Utah has a tendency to bring people together from all walks of life. Okay, ladies, this is how we're going to work this. It's got a series of questions, okay? Some of you will be asked the same questions. Others will parlay into a different area. But you had the questions in front of you ahead of time, so you were able to prepare. So let's get with it. So we're going to start with Mo. All right? So Mo, describe for us the moment you realized the opportunities that participating in sports could give you.
Well, I think that I started playing sports really young, and I think that early on I was aware of just kind of like using sport as an escape for whatever, like school or whatever was like going on in my personal life, and also really a way to be sociable and make friends. But I think it's not until like much later, I started playing basketball when I was about 13 years old. And then when I started being involved with the provincial team and national team back home, and when people were saying that American University were interested into recruiting me, I think that's when I really realized like the doors that sports could open to me and kind of just the life-changing opportunities. So I'd say about like midway through my teenage years that I was really aware of what sports could really give me.
Awesome. Audrey, how about you? When did you first realize?
I probably first realized in my high school years. I started late in swimming. I was about 13, and I was a part of a really good swim program back in Colorado. And so I was able to meet a bunch of new people and experience different settings to compete in and just make me better as a person and everything else in my life too as well.
Thank you. Cammie?
I would say I was probably around the same age as Mo when I realized. I kind of just like went with the flow in gymnastics because I thought it was really fun and I was good at it, so I stayed in it. But like, I think in high school when a college first contacted my coach talking about them being interested in me and wanting to do a visit and all of that is really when I like thought this was like a big deal to me. So ever since like freshman year of high school, I was like, I could really do something with this that could be special.
Great. Alyssa? When did you first realize?
I figured it out kind of at a young age. I started playing travel ball pretty young. So from a young age, it was instilled that, you know, keeping in the process of travel ball or club ball could earn you a scholarship and provide many opportunities. What also helped was having mentors who were already in college and getting to see them on TV. I saw them and I was just in awe, and I'm like, I wanted to be that person, and saw the type of woman that they came out of from the program. So it was kind of from a young age that I got to watch and grow with.
Okay, next question. At what age did you start competing in sports and how did you get involved? Katie?
I started competing when I was about 5 years old. My parents both ski raced as kids, so it was kind of, I guess, just what I was going to do. They kind of put me on skis when I learned how to walk, and I fell in love with it from then on.
Your turn, Katie. Yeah.
I started playing sports in general when I was like 4 or 5. I played soccer when I was really young, and I was a swimmer for a really long time. But I didn't start playing softball until I was about 12, which is a little bit late to the game in terms of softball. So yeah, and then I wasn't until high school that I picked softball and kind of ran with it and decided to pursue that to go to college.
You guys are combining a couple of my questions. I don't like you for that, but thank you. Haley, what age for you did you start competing?
Yeah, so similar story. I started competing around 4.
Wow.
It was kind of the classic, like my mom coached my younger age group team, and just kind of was trying to follow in her footsteps because she played collegiately. So yeah, about 4.
Where'd your mom play?
She played at Princeton.
Oh, awesome. How about you, Jazz?
I was probably around 4 or 5, but I started out with playing t-ball, soccer, basketball, and then it wasn't really until I was probably 8 or 9 that I found a passion for tennis, and then just really stuck with it from there.
Maya?
I think I was probably about 4 or 5. I think I've played just about every sport in the book. So it wasn't until later that I really locked it down on running, but yeah, probably 4 or 5 years old.
How did you get involved?
Yeah, so not a lot of people know this about me, but I actually
That's what we're here for, exposure.
Yeah, exposure. I used to be a Nordic skier and I used to race. My mom was super into Nordic skiing, and so I also got on skis when I could walk. And yeah, my mom was a big person who pushed me in sports and definitely wanted me to pursue skiing, but that didn't happen.
Well, I think we're better for it. Do you think you're better for it? Yes.
Absolutely.
Great. So Lola, how many different sports did you play growing up, and how did you settle on basketball?
I think I'm kind of like Maya. I played every sport, and I had a pretty athletic body when I was younger, and I always liked to play outside and do stuff. But I settled for basketball at age 13, 14, because my cousin just pushed me into it because I was tall. So I just liked it and stuck with it.
Crystal.
I have never really played a different sport. I kind of started gymnastics when I was 7, and I was in toddler dance before that. And but I was never really coordinated enough to do another sport. But like I tried my best in PE, but I just stuck with the sport I started with.
I don't know. You rock it on the beam. So don't tell me you're not very coordinated.
It's a different kind of coordination. There's no.
Is that okay? So Cammie and Crystal, is that pretty typical of gymnasts not to have really played another sport?
I think so, just because it like every sport takes a lot of dedication, but it's just like it's hard to switch back and forth with gymnastics because it just takes so much time. But Cammie?
Yeah, I would have to agree. Gymnastics takes up a lot of your time, which is okay because I'm here now. I made it to where I wanna be. So, but yeah, I really only played like 2 other sports growing up, but then I stuck with gymnastics at 7.
Okay. You have any family members who participated in gymnastics as well?
No, my mom played softball and soccer, and my dad played basketball. So
quite different. How old do you see?
No, my family's not really athletic. I think my dad played like middle school tennis, and that was it.
So you're saying you didn't really have any role models in your family?
No, I just went with the flow of things and just kind of see where it took me.
All right. Michelle, how about you? How many different sports did you participate in, and how did you land in skiing?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I've done like a lot of sports, like from horse riding, tennis, golf, skiing, and yeah. Skiing was actually like my mom did that when she was young, and she was like, "No, Michelle is not gonna be a skier because it will take like all your time, and we will never go to like nice vacations in the sun. Just be out in the cold." But then my neighbor was like skiing, and they were like, "Yeah, it's so fun." And my dad was like, "Yeah, we should also start skiing." And then kind of started skiing and went good, and yeah, then I just like keep going with it. And then my dad was like, "Yeah, Michelle, you can." And my mom and dad were like, "Yeah, you can quit whenever you want to. You don't have to do this." I'm like, "Yeah, but now it's going good, so now I want to do this." So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're embedded in it.
Yeah.
How about you, Em? That's all right.
I started swimming when I was 6, but I did things like gymnastics and volleyball, soccer, basketball, all that jazz. But I didn't start competing year round until I was 9. And my mom just kind of put me in it just because I'm the oldest of 4 girls, and she wanted to A, keep me busy, and B, I needed to learn how to swim. Just
for safety purposes?
Yeah.
Did you live near water?
Yeah, there's a lot of lakes by me. There's Lake Tahoe, of course, that everyone knows,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of lakes around there, so.
Safety first.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All right. Zoe, this one's for you. What advice would you give to your younger self as you maneuver the landscape of being a female athlete?
Oh boy. Well, there are a lot of things, but the main thing I think would be to pay attention to your surroundings and pay attention to your surroundings and pay extra attention to detail. Playing sports, you can easily get lost in the shuffle of things. It's a really fast and chaotic lifestyle, so you just got to make sure you don't let things slip through the cracks.
Okay, Katie Falk.
I would have told myself to have more fun. I still tell myself that probably every day. When softball, you get recruited really young. You get recruited like freshman year of high school, and so I was putting so much pressure on myself every single tournament that we would play to get a hit or do really well. And our game is a game of failure. I mean, I'm only really supposed to succeed 3 times out of 10, and yet every single time I would fail, it was like the end of the world. And it's taken me 4 years in college to have a little bit more fun. So I would definitely go back and tell myself that it's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world. You can have fun because that's the reason why we're playing sports in the first place.
Talk a little bit more about that 3 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, like softball, I mean, a 300 batting average is like that's pretty good, and that means that you're failing 7 times out of 10. And so definitely just like learning how to kind of cope with that, because it's a really weird concept to think of 30% of the time as a really good success rate, which is not really, how it is in the real world. If I got a 30 on a test, oh my gosh, so it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just a really hard thing to kind of like get to feel normal with, but that's part of our sport. That's what we signed up for. So coming back from that failure.
I think the same thing with volleyball and hitting percentages, same exact thing. Jasmine, what about you?
Really similar to Katie. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I feel like in high school it was just on to the next, always trying to, push myself. You have to succeed. And I think coming to college, I've realized kind of similar, like we're supposed to be having fun, and yeah, just not to put so much pressure on yourself, but to just really enjoy the moment, enjoy where you are, and just appreciate the hard work that you put into it.
Haley, from you.
Yeah, so I think it's a very similar story for me as well. Just super focused on things that maybe I necessarily couldn't control, outside, what other people thought, what other people were saying, coaches, all that kind of stuff. And I think I would really tell myself to really just zero in on what I control. And that's, my attitude and how I look at things, and just really make sure I do the best in those, and everything will work out as it's supposed to.
Great, thank you. Madison.
Yeah, I'm like really similar to both Katie and Jasmine in the way that I would just want to tell myself to have fun, give myself a hug, because I was so hard on myself. But also I would probably say, instead of tracking all the things I did wrong, because I would write down everything I did wrong, everything I needed to work on, I would say do the opposite, write down everything you did good. So that way, moving forward, it would install confidence, because I had a lot of confidence issues when I was younger. And so I would say looking at the positive in things instead of the negative would definitely have helped me out.
Good advice. Cammie, you want to throw something in there?
I would probably tell myself to enjoy each of the small moments just as much as the big ones. And I think that's helped me through college too. And even when I was younger, because sometimes I'm not looking at the bigger picture, or I'm thinking about the future way too often, or focusing on the past a little too much. But I think enjoying each moment as it comes is really important.
Good advice. Alyssa, we're going to jump a little bit here for you, since you're a super COVID senior. What are some of the biggest life lessons you've learned playing sports?
There's so many. A little bit is what the girls were saying, living in the moment. Especially you only get 4 years, or in my case, I got lucky just to get 1 extra year. And each day I've taken and tried to learn the best that I can, and, grow where I can, and put myself in situations and giving myself an opportunity to learn. and to teach and to build relationships, you know, with people who are, you know, in this with me, and that you know, all of that. Another thing too is just surrounding yourself with people, successful people that you want to be with too. I mean, that's helped me a lot, you know, finding mentors. You know, you could feel like, you know, it could get really alone sometimes and you can get lost in your own thoughts in your head, but being able to share that and, you know, lean on your sisters, you know, figuring out a way to walk through the good times and the bad times. I think that's what's really helped me and kind of shaped me in finding who I am as a person.
Maya, you're a junior this year. You've lived a little bit. Share with us some of your lessons.
I think that I would say, first and foremost, to lean on my teammates. I've always been on teams where it's truly a sisterhood. And I think a lot of people use that word, but you know, having that sense of community is something that's so important. And it's also important to take with you into, you know, the real world after college and after sports. But I would also say I play a really individualized sport. Like, they don't score most track meets. So when you step out on the track, it's just you. And the only person backing you is you at the end of the day. So I think having that confidence in yourself and knowing that you can pull yourself out of any situation is definitely something that I've learned from playing my sport.
Maureen, you've been with us for a bit. Share with us some of your lessons.
I think the biggest lesson for me is to just be adaptable to like whatever you face. My sophomore year, I tore my ACL, my meniscus, and I had to redshirt that year. And even if it was like really hard, to be able to find other ways to still be a leader and help my team like being successful without actually being on the court with them has been like such a growing opportunity for me. And I think that's going to be just really useful in my life, professional life, or personal. Like, you never know what's going to happen the next day, and to be able to adapt and just find other ways to get through whatever's in front of you is, I think, one of the biggest lessons I've learned during my career here.
How much did getting injured challenge you?
A lot. Like mentally, physically, I think. I mean, physically, just like getting to rehab, having to learn to like walk and run again and all of that. But just mentally, like for so long, kind of like all I knew was to be a student athlete. And to whenever like there was things like if school was hard, I could just like get into practice and work out and just feel better. So it was really hard to be able to like navigate through that. And I just had like a lot of anxiety with it. So overall, it was really challenging. But I think when now I'm like 2 years later, and when I look back on it, I'm thankful for the growth that I was able to have through like those challenges.
Brooke, how about you?
I feel like I've learned a lot about like my competitive side. I felt like I was never really that much of a competitive person just in general. But then I kind of realized that it's not about being competitive with other people. It's more about being competitive with yourself and trying to get better with each competition and each practice. And so kind of going through meets, like my competition is more of my like friends than my competition, than my like enemies, I guess, because they're there to help me get better and I'm there to help them get better. So that's like a big thing that I've taken away from track. And also I've learned that like I used to just ride so much on the competition aspect and just like the whole practice and all the little things were just not big in my mind. But now I feel like going into competitions, I'm like way more relaxed and way more calm because I think about what I've done in my practice and I take that with me to competition and I'm just like, okay, now it's time to just show off what I've done. So that's.
So you mean practice really does make perfect? What you do in practice can translate to what you do in the play? That's a real thing.
It is a real thing.
Awesome. Audrey, how about you? What was that, Brooke?
And it gives you a lot of confidence to think about that.
Yeah, exactly. Audrey.
So I'd say the thing that I've learned, like a life lesson, is to be patient and trust the process and trust the people that you're being around. And I'm still learning that myself, trusting my coaches, even though it may be really annoying, the sets that they're giving us, and it's just frustrating. It doesn't make sense. But patience in my work ethic and just trusting, especially this year, understanding that sometimes it can't get much worse than this, that there's going to be a better end to all of this, that all of our work that we've been doing leading up to now will eventually pay off and not just a waste of time, really.
Yeah, things happen for a reason. You don't always know what that reason is, but in the end, it gets flushed out. Lola, this one's for you. Okay, what do you enjoy most about being a student athlete?
I think what I enjoy the most is meeting new people. I've been in so many places and just meeting new people everywhere I go and developing friendships with them, because I have now friends from all over the world, and it's crazy because I'm like, well, I'm gonna visit you in 10 years, so you better keep in contact with me. So yeah, and it also helped me a lot to know how to deal with people with different backgrounds, because I used to struggle with that a lot and I didn't have much patience. And now I've learned a lot to be patient, be open-minded. And I am so thankful for sports because they opened my mind in so many ways that I'm so grateful for, because I was raised in a pretty different way. So I'm just thankful now that I'm this person, because I am empathic. I love meeting new people. I love making friends. And I am studying politics, so I think it's great.
And we're fortunate to have you with us. So thank you for choosing Utah.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, what about you?
I would say kind of the same as Lola. Like I would call myself a social person, and I just love like the community around being a student athlete, whether it's like throughout athletics or like the fans or something. Because in high school, it was like I went to a meet and then I went to school and like no one ever said anything. But now it's like, oh, good job last weekend. I'm like, oh, thanks. And it's just a whole bunch of people rooting for you, and all you have to do is the sport you love, and it's just I feel very grateful to be here, so it's really exciting.
Awesome. We feel grateful as well. KDV.
The one thing that I think I enjoy most about being a student athlete is just having so many resources to take advantage of and having such a strong support crew behind me. That's one thing, like in high school and with ski racing, it's super individual. So I always kind of had to rely on myself and kind of like just a few people for help, where here there's so many people that are willing to work with you and reach out to make it a good experience.
That's awesome. Thank you. Emma.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing about being a student athlete is, again, the different backgrounds, because I came from a teeny tiny town in California, not a lot of diversity, and it's just super cool to see people can come from all over the world, all different kinds of backgrounds, study different things, and in the end, we all come together and we all have the same passion for the same sport. And I think that's a really cool thing about not only being an athlete, but being a student athlete.
Jasmine.
I just love being a Ute and everything that it encompasses. Ever since I was little, it was always my dream to play tennis for the University of Utah. My great grandpa played tennis here, and it's kind of, my dad played basketball here, so it's kind of gone down the generations. And I just love being a part of something that's bigger than myself and being able to compete for the name that's on your chest. And it just really gives you an opportunity to do something more than just, I don't know, competing for yourself. Or yeah, it's just been a really special experience for me.
You're a legacy kid thing. You've got all these family members who were former Utes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Love that. Okay, next question is, talk about what it takes to play at the next level from high school or club program to collegiate, and how would you advise younger girls to prepare for that? Okay, Cami, I'm gonna start with you.
I would say that it's a lot more, I would say use like a lot more of your time management skills because we're always so busy with everything and we're also involved all the time, like year round. So sometimes it gets a little hard to keep everything balanced. But I think that would be like the big takeaway from high school to college is that it's a little bit more work, but it's definitely manageable if you plan it out correctly.
Thanks. Haley, give us some of your insight.
Yeah, I would say it just it takes a combination of a lot of things, but dedication and just kind of that tenacity, just like you set this goal and you're gonna get there, you know. And I think it also takes a lot of, like Cami said, time management, kind of focusing on those smaller details, and then really just leaning on the people around you to get help, whether that's coaches helping in the recruiting process, parents, teammates, really just using all that you have around you to kind of get you there.
Thank you. Michelle.
Yeah, I would say like continue to have fun because like it's so easy to get so seriously like serious and stuff, so you forgot to like have fun. So if you're gonna like keep holding on to your sport for so long, it's important to have fun and enjoy the time.
Michelle, you're nothing but fun.
Yeah. I'm serious.
Katie Vesterstein.
Yeah, so I think to go from like high school to college for skiing, it takes a combination of going to the races where the college skiers are competing and getting your name out there with those coaches, because it's really easy to kind of not hit the right races, so to speak, and there's only a certain amount per year, so it's really important that you make those races count and reach out to the coaches. Like at least for me, I was always trying to like email them my results and stuff, and just kind of working with my coaches to become noticed in a way.
Katie Falk.
I think that college sports really test your love for the game because there's so many times where you're just like having the worst day and just like practice is just awful and like you're just doing absolutely terrible, and it just like tests that love because you have to get up the next morning and you have to go to weights at 5:45 in the morning and do it all again, and just like being able to come back from that and just like taking each new day as it comes and just like really digging down and like finding your why. Like, why are you here? We talk about it all the time on our team, like what is your why? Like you have to have a reason for being here. Is it your family? Is it your love for the game? Like what is it? Why are you here? Because a lot of times when you're like really deep down in those pits, like that's what you have to rely on to, get yourselves back there. And so it really just like takes remembering that, and having fun goes with that, just like Michelle said, and you have to make sure that you love what you're doing, because if you don't love what you do every day, it's going to make it that much harder to wake up and do it.
Raise your hand if you felt like Katie has felt the night before to the morning of. We've all been there. I'm there right now and I'm not playing any longer, so I feel ya. All right. Audrey and Emma, why did you choose the University of Utah?
Well, I did because I wanted to be in the Pac-12. That was something that I've been looking at for a long, long time since I started looking at colleges in the first place. And I went to Utah and it felt a lot more homey compared to the other Pac-12 schools, as far as the team environment, even the campus and like all the facilities, how they're all connected with other teams on campus. And I thought that was super cool and I wanted to be a part of it.
I chose Utah mainly because one, it was close to home. It's just a 6-hour drive maybe. And also
out west, that's close.
Yeah, it's close. It is close. But also like Emma training in the Pac-12, competing against schools like Stanford and Cal, where have so many Olympians. It's a different environment that I wanted to experience, and I wanted to push myself. And since I did start so late in swimming, I did not get a whole lot of opportunities from other schools to contribute early on. Like I would only be able to probably contribute to like my junior or my senior year, but Utah was able to see the what I could offer, even with not a whole lot of background, and they trusted that I would represent them properly and just do good by the sport and the school. So,
do you feel that competing against the Stanfords and Cals of the world, UCLAs of the world, has improved your swimming?
Absolutely, just because you earned your spot just as much as they did, and competing against them and being at the same level, it gives you that added confidence that it's like you can actually do this and make it pretty far. So
great. Zoe, what about you? Why did you choose Utah?
Well, I came on my visit in April, so it was like nice and it wasn't too cold, it wasn't too hot yet, but it was so pretty, and the mountains looked good, and everyone was nice and all that, and I loved it. And then I found out that year that I came on my visit, the volleyball team was finished 11th in the country. Right now we're ranked 8th. So
and picked
that
first
was part
in the
of the
Pac-12.
reason. Yeah, just playing the Pac-12 was the goal. Honestly, from day one of recruiting, I knew I wanted to play in the Pac-12. And, once I did some research about the school, did camps, and I just fell in love. And I was like, I got to play here. And I know we're going to end up getting a natty. So,
Haley, you're all going to get this question.
Yeah, so I chose Utah because I went to high school here. So I kind of had an experience of living here before college, and was lucky enough to see the Utah soccer team play in person a lot. So that was a really special experience for me because I was able to see it right there and have a lot of close interaction with the team. And yeah, I think I just really fell in love with kind of the city meets mountains situation. I think it was really special. There's so much to do around here. And then, yeah, just the program, the coaches, the team, everything just fell into place. So
awesome. Good to hear. Alyssa.
Like some, my dream was to play in the Pac-12, and I knew Utah was going to give me the chance to elevate my game, and they also provided like the best education that I can get, and it was just on my agenda. But I love the community. I always wanted to go to a school too where they had a really good football team because I love going to our sporting events. But funny, I actually committed here before I even saw the school. So Coach A really pitched Utah to me like
wow.
the best way. So I was like, sign me up. Like I don't even need to see it. But I did. I came on a visit a year after, and I was just, this is the place. I have
it
no
didn't
regrets,
disappoint,
no
huh?
doubt. No, yeah. If I could do it again, I would. I love Utah.
That's what I want to hear. That's exactly what I want to hear. Katie V, why Utah?
I chose Utah because we have, I would say, the best training as a ski racer. We're super close to a bunch of different areas. And the ski team has won, I think, 12 national championship titles. And so being a part of arguably the best team is always something I dreamed of. And also the facilities here when I came to visit, like, really took my breath away, and I just wanted to be a part of something that was bigger than me as like an individual in ski racing, but be a part of a team that was super competitive.
Not many schools have their own ski building.
Only ones.
Exactly. Crystal.
I remember I didn't know anything about Utah. And I got a letter from like a.
How could you be a gymnast in Arizona and not know about Utah?
Nevada.
Nevada.
I know.
That's even
but
worse.
I know. And then I came to camp here and I absolutely loved it. I thought the campus was beautiful. All the facilities were beautiful. Loved Salt Lake. And I was like, I really want to come here. But then I remember Tom saying, like, you're not good enough. And I was so sad. I committed to a different college. And then for like 3 years, I worked to prove him wrong. And I'm here now. So
Awesome.
it worked out.
Wow. He told you, did he really tell you that? Were those his words?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was like, there's one scholarship and you're not in the top 3. I was like, okay.
So when did he come around?
My senior year, right before we signed. So
okay.
A little sneaky.
And you still came. You could have snubbed him.
Yeah. I said no the first time. I was like, no, I'm sticking with my school. And
there you go.
And then I came to Fan Fest and I was like, oh.
Wow. Yeah. Katie Fall.
I chose Utah because I definitely wanted to play in the Pac-12. Pac-12 softball is like unmatched. And, I knew that like if I tried to I'm from Tucson, Arizona, and Arizona is really good at softball. Yeah. And so I grew up as a little kid wanting to go there. And then I realized that I just wanted something more than just softball, and I wanted to play the best people in the country, but as the underdog, I wanted to upset the best people in the country and show them that I can be at a school that cares about me as a person and me as a student, and I can still kick your butt. So so once I came here and saw the coaches and just the city. I mean, I love the mountains. I've always lived next to mountains, but they're always covered in cactus and dirt and they're not very pretty. So coming here is just much better scenery and just being able to compete at the level of a lot of other schools, but knowing that every single player on our team has the opportunity to play, and it's not at other schools in the Pac where there's the same girls that always play and you're always just at the bottom of the barrel. No, we're all competing every single day and we're still just as good as you are. So
now, Jasmine, you're a legacy kid, so we know why you're here. Have we lived up to your expectations?
Yeah.
Have we lived up to your expectations?
Oh, definitely. I've been a Ute fan since I was a little girl, and when I got the opportunity to come to the University of Utah, I jumped on it, and it's been such a great experience, and it's gone by way too fast. I'm sad I'm already a senior, but yeah, it's been awesome.
Great. Lola.
Yeah, I chose Utah because I wanted to play in the Conference of Champions. Champions are made here, and I'm
wait a minute. You sound like a public address announcement.
Yeah, I just love to compete. I think if some of you have seen me play, you guys see how passionate I am for the game and how hard I play every game. So I didn't know much about United States basketball, but once I got the letter and the recruiting process was awesome. I love the coaches. I love my teammates. And then I found out that it was the Conference of Champions, and I didn't think about it twice.
That's great. That's awesome. Maya.
Yeah, so I actually didn't make my decision to commit to Utah until super late. I'd actually already graduated high school. It was
oh, wow.
Almost July, I think. But I remember talking to Brooke Manson's dad at State and him telling me that Brooke was going to Utah. And I knew Brooke a little and I was like, oh, okay, Utah. And I just remember finally coming on my visit and talking to my, coach for the first time and hearing what his plans were for me. And having someone that believes in you as a student athlete is one of the most important things because, you do have that inner confidence, but you have to hear it from your coaches as well. So that was something that really drew me to Utah and got me excited to be there. But also from an educational standpoint, studying political science in the capital of the state is just like an amazing opportunity. So both of those things were big reasons that I chose Utah.
And by choosing Utah, you had the opportunity to partake in some little event that went on here this fall. Tell us a little bit about that.
Are we talking about Unity Walk?
Nope. Before Unity Walk. VP.
VP, yeah, VP. I've had some really awesome opportunities. But yeah, I got to go to the vice presidential debate and actually work the event and, you know, be in that building. And that's an experience that as a political science major, but also just as a human being was so cool just to be there in a historic moment. And, you know, wouldn't have gotten to do that if I didn't go here, so.
Cammie, I remember meeting you and your parents on your official visit in the burb. Why'd you choose Utah?
That's funny because I like definitely was committed somewhere else, like Crystal. I wasn't trying to, I got recruited by another school, University of Maryland, and I thought I was like set. And it's like, okay, it's close to home, like it's got the majors I want and I'm good to go. So I was just like, I just need to stay healthy in gym and keep doing what I'm doing. And then like he contacted my coach and I was really confused because I was like, they're ranked kind of high. It's like, I don't.
And why would they want me, but not Crystal? Come on.
But he like came to watch me practice. And then that next week I was out in Utah and I was like, honestly so nervous, but like as soon as like I looked outside the plane and like saw the mountains, I was like, oh, this could be home. Like that was so beautiful. And every staff member or like faculty member that I met, not just the coaches, but like Kendall and like people in the burb or like other people in the Huntsman that work with our team were just so genuine and wanted the best for the student athlete experience. And I think that is what drew me to want to commit here. And I thought the gymnastics team was very, very competitive and definitely has a shot at nationals. So I wanted to be a part of that as well because I thought that was really incredible. So.
Awesome. And thank you for your contributions. You've been performing at a high level.
Thank you.
Madison.
Yeah, so like a lot of people here, my dream was to play in the Pac-12 ever since I was 10. There's a girl in my neighborhood who played tennis for USC, and she was like 10 years older, well, like around 8 years older than me, so I always looked up to her. Her name was Maria. And so I grew up just saying like, I'm going to play in the Pac-12. But so I didn't have like a lot of good rankings or anything because I started tournaments really late, like when I was around like 14, 15. And so I went to a Division II school, but I still had like Utah on my mind or like the Pac-12 on my mind. And I just kept working, getting better and better at that Division II. And then I reached out to the coach here and he gave me a chance. And so I was able to come play at my dream school, which has been amazing for me. And it's like the biggest dream come true ever. And my best friend goes here. So that's like,
oh, that's awesome.
Huge plus. Yeah, it's great.
That shows never give up on your dream because you never know what can happen.
Oh yeah. And like also for like the younger girls, I had literally probably everyone like telling me, except for my best friend, like you can't do it. Like my last coach at my old school told me like, sorry, or like you should just like stop playing, like go down to a D3. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go to a Pac-12 now. So that's what I would say is like have confidence in yourself and like never stop going towards your dream.
Great, awesome, thank you. Mo.
Well, same as Crystal, like I had no idea where Utah was or like what it looked like.
Well, you got a reason. You're up in Canada.
Yeah, I'm from another country, so it's more like normal. I feel like, but when I flew here, I remember like I was still in the plane, and just like I was really amazed by like the mountains and how beautiful it was. So I think I was already like won over even before like coming on campus. But then on my visit, I just like the whole team, the coaches, the players, everyone were just so welcoming. And I felt like it just felt like home right away and felt like the right fit for me. And I think also I was able to like really connect with the coaches, and I just loved their vision. Back then they were like at their second year, I think, and they were just trying to like rebuild this program. And I felt like it was really something I wanted to be a part of and compete in the Pac-12. And I think lastly, like one of the main thing for me was that I knew like here as the whole department that everyone who was like involved in working cared about us as student athlete, but also like as person first. And that was like really important for me, especially like being so far away from home, like knowing that I will have the support I need for like in whatever like capacity like I need. So I think that was like also a big like reason for me.
You always had me razzing you with wearing the wrong apparel, right?
Yeah, that's true. Make sure you always wear Under Armour.
Brooke, what about you?
I actually came to Utah, the state. I was up in Park City when I was like 14 for a soccer tournament. And this was before I even ran track at all. But I was like, wow, this place is amazing. I looked around the campus too, and I was just so young. And it was always kind of like in the back of my head, like going into high school. And then when I started running track and being like recruited by other schools, I was like, oh, what about Utah? Like it just was, I was just gravitated towards it like since I was young, you know? And I came on an official visit my senior year. And the girls like on the team were like amazing. Like everybody was really supportive of each other and competitive within the conference. And I remember talking to the coach, and she was like, we're gonna make you an All-American and we really believe in you. And I was like, oh yes, like having a coach that like trusts you, like Mai was saying, and believes in you is like so important to me, rather than just being fit into like a crowd. They really see you for the person that you are and what you can bring to the team. And I felt like the track team was just like on the rise. We're getting better and better, and just everything was really exciting about it. Checked all the boxes. I was like, no brainer, coming here.
Awesome. You're quite the artist as well. So if you guys picked up a social justice shirt, Brooke designed that shirt, the one that has the interlocking hands to them. So thank you, Brooke.
Thanks.
Michelle, last but not least, why Utah?
Yeah, I've been yeah. Okay, yeah, I was skiing in the national team in in Sweden, and we can study at the same time. So and I really want to do something else, because like after my skiing, I also want to like have a degree to be able to work. So that was like one reason why I came here. And also that like we got a new coach, and that wasn't the same atmosphere. He was like, oh, we need to be more serious, like we can't have fun. And was bringing down the spirit in the team, and like the team got really bad. And we had like so much fun before, so it was like combined, I think. So I went here to like get education, find happiness again, and and ski fast still. But like I maybe can come back like after my in 3 years, and
You sound like you're having fun again, Michelle.
But I think that's a like important thing, because it's so easy to get so like so serious on them, like just like going your way and like don't see the whole picture and stuff.
Awesome. Okay, so this is one of the last questions. I'm only going to ask a few of you this, but for the youngins out there, describe a day in the life of a student athlete. All right, I'm going to actually start with Cammie.
So I wake up, go right to treatment.
What time do you usually get up, Cam?
I usually get up around 8:30.
Oh, that's sleeping in.
Yeah, I'm very blessed. We're very blessed that we don't have any early workouts in the morning or lifts. We did one time, and it was a 7 a.m. lift, and we all did not like it at all. We all had much more respect for everybody that does work out that early, but I wake up around 8:15, 8:30, and then I'm in the training room around 9:15, just doing some exercises, treating some small injuries. Then I have class at 10:45 via Zoom. So I go back to the gym and go into a little quiet area while I'm in class. And then I get ready for practice around the 12:30. I probably eat a little snack, and then practice starts at 1 and we go until about 4:30ish. And then we're doing treatments again, recovery stuff, so, like cold tubs and all that. And then I usually have a meeting like this at least twice a week around like 5:30 or 6 or 7. And it's usually an hour or so. And then after that, I'll do some homework and then shower and get ready for bed and do it all again the next day.
So from the time you get up to go get your treatment, are you in your facility the whole day until you finally go home?
No, so I go to the Sorensen big athletic training room in the morning, and then after that I go back to the Dumpke, and I'm usually there until around 6 o'clock. And I also eat dinner there too, so it's very, very easy. So when I just come back to my room, I'm ready to start some more meetings and then do some homework.
What are some of the committees that you serve on?
So I'm in SAC, that's the Student Athlete Advisory Council. I'm also in Utah Group, United Together Against Hate. We meet Wednesdays. That's a nice like social justice advocating group. That started 2 years ago. So I was a part of it when it first started, and it's grown into something much more bigger. That's really nice to see more people involved in it and want to be involved with that as well. So
awesome. Thank you, Cam. We're going to go to the opposite end of the continuum and go with Audrey and Emma about their life in the day of. You guys get to start as late as 8:30?
No.
Didn't think so.
We lift at 6 a.m. We lift from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. And then we go straight to the pool where we train from 7 to 8:30. And then we get a little break where we get to go to class and eat and all that jazz. And then we come back from around 3 to 5 and we swim some more. And then we eat some more and we do more school. So that's pretty much a day in our life.
Yeah, it's nice. Oh, it's not nice, but you can take naps now, which I really enjoy after early practices. And it was definitely brutal. The 3 weeks leading up to when school started, we had doubles every day.
Doubles or triples.
Doubles or triples. Doubles or triples Monday through Friday, and then something awful on Saturday. But it was all worth it. I really appreciate it. It really helped, and it's the results are showing, even though we were not the happiest of campers. And
right?
So, yeah, it's the same thing. Wake up, swim, eat, school, eat, practice, eat, sleep, and then repeat. So,
but it's worth it.
Oh,
it's worth it.
Yeah, it is so worth it.
Crystal, could you do that schedule?
No, I don't wake up early enough.
Yeah, I saw you kind of over there, kind of covering your mouth and laughing at their hours.
Yeah, when we did the 7 a.m. lift, I just remember I was like, this is so early. No one lifts at this time. And then softball came out and I was like, you guys just finished your lift?
Yeah, they left earlier. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so that's the difference of two individual sports. We're gonna go with a team sport here. So Alyssa, give us a day in your life.
Well, yeah, I have both like undergrad and masters, but that's kind of flipped. With masters, all my school was at night. So yeah, we do have those really early lifts at 6:30. We got lucky. We got 7 a.m. this semester is a big deal for us. But after that, we usually follow up with treatment, getting some stuff from the fueling station. A lot of us go to school right after. For me, I don't have school right now during the day, so it's kind of just homework or sleep if I can. In the middle of the day, so we'll get an extra hitting if we can, and then we start practice around 1 or 1:30, and that usually goes about 3 to 4 hours. Following that, we get more treatment, or we will go to study hall or go to class like me, or do some homework. So that kind of sums up my day, but I am beat and I sleep really good every day. And we actually have weights, 2 to 4 times a week, depending on where we are in the season. I know that kind of varies for some sports. They only get like in the weight room twice, but yeah, you could see us in the weight room a lot because it kind of just depends what your sport is looking for in terms of physique and fitness.
Wow. Maya, you guys have different disciplines all over the place, from cross country to throws. You're in the middle of that. What does a day in your life look like?
Well, first of all, I want to say I am so glad that I run track and field and I don't swim after hearing that. So props to you ladies, because my schedule is much different. I also get up around 8:30, sometimes even 9 o'clock. I'm not a morning person, so thank goodness we don't have practice until later. But I wake up around 9, eat a big breakfast. That's really important to me. I love to eat. And then I go to class around 10:45 till noon. And then we have practice at around 1. And we practice from around 1 to 3 or 3:30. And we lift at 4, which for us is later in the day. Usually we lift earlier. But yeah, practice looks pretty crazy just because there are so many different disciplines within track and field. So depending on if you're a thrower or if you're a short sprinter like me, your day can look really different. Like Brooke Manson's day probably looks a little bit different than mine. But after practice, I also participate in a lot of different groups and activities on campus and do all of my homework, all of my reading. So yeah, that's what a day in my life looks like.
So pretty busy, no matter what sport, no matter what discipline you're in. It's going to be from anywhere between 6 a.m. until possibly 8 p.m. And then you may be able to eat in between there, if you're lucky. But we have the fueling stations, so we'll provide for you as much as we possibly can. All right, well, you guys have done a great job. Just one last thing, we're gonna go around the horn. This is gonna be our lightning speed round, okay? I'm just gonna ask you a random question, okay? And just answer it at will. Mo, cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Okay, Brooke, sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Michelle, cake or pie?
Huh?
Cake or pie?
Cake.
Ooh. Haley, hamburger or hot dogs?
Hamburger.
Lola, sandals or flip-flops?
Ooh, both.
Why not both?
Yeah.
Right? All right. Maya, Italian food or Mexican?
Mexican.
Cami, if you're an animal, what animal would you be?
Cheetah.
Ooh, fast. Okay, Maddie, what's your favorite class?
Ooh. I'm in a class called Communication and Race. It's super interesting. I love it.
Okay. Lisa, if you weren't a softball player, what other athlete would you be?
A soccer player.
Yeah, okay. KDV, what's your favorite season?
Summer.
You can't ski in the summer.
In other places.
Crystal, what's your favorite TV show or movie?
I like Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde. Okay. Go back to the tap. Audrey, cats or dogs?
Both.
Why not? Right?
Yeah.
Do you have both?
I have 6 dogs and 5 cats.
Oh my goodness, Animal Farm.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it.
Wow. Okay, sweet or salty? Em?
Ooh, sweet.
Zoe, cake or pie?
Chocolate cake all the way.
Wow. Okay, Jazz. Hamburger or hot dogs?
Definitely hamburgers.
Katie Falk, you're supposed to be in class or something, weren't you? You end up saying the whole time. Italian or Mexican?
Italian.
All right. Well, ladies, thank you very much. That was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great rest of the week and good luck with your seasons.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.